Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politaris. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
On this Mother's Day weekend, we're talking about how grateful we are for all the moms in our lives. You know, what is the line? The mother never retires. She works for her husband and then her children. She looks after the grandchildren. She looks after everyone. Everyone retires, but mother never retires. This is so true. So what can we do? What can we do to help them out financially?
The average person, I read a statistic the other day, I think the average person spends about $250 between cards, flowers, and candy and dinner for Mother's Day. How about doing something like helping them plan better for the future? Have them come in, bring them in with you, and let me help them get an idea about tomorrow. You know, anyone that's ever talked to me or ever read my book knows how I feel about my mom and dad and the reasons I do today what I've been doing. When I first got married to Leslie, we got married in 1994, and we were doing, we were high on life. And about 6 months after Alex, our oldest son, was born the following year, my dad dropped dead, had a major heart attack, and he died. And my mom was left behind. And after everything settled, we're sitting there, the five of us and my mom and our spouses, talking to her. And to find out that mom was virtually homeless was really hard for us. And when you love someone so much and you see them lose that pride, it's really hard. Maybe if we had sat there and done what I'm asking you to do for your mom, your loved ones, husbands, bring your wife in with you. Let's get the answers to the questions, and let's keep the most important person in our lives comfortable with where they're going to go. Give me a call, 302-330-2166. That's 302-330-2166. And bring mom in, bring your dad in, bring mom and dad come in together, and let me help you get that written retirement plan in place. And at the end of the day, who's there to take care of mom? And my mother, Betty, was an absolute beast. And I say that she was the greatest mom ever. But I don't want anyone to, I don't want my wife ever to feel like that. So you want to make sure you line them up so they can be able to go forward and they're in the best place. Let me do a complimentary report for her to make sure she knows where she's at, where she's going. If there's a mistake, let's try and work on it together. Call us at 302-330-2166. Let us help them be lined up so they can go forward.
You can hear it in George's voice this weekend here as we're talking about the power of family. And this is George's why. A lot of people have called into the radio show and they have questions and say, well, George, why did you get invested doing this? What brought you to the Betrayal Wealth Group? Well, did you hear the story him talking about his mom? Their book, Taking Care of Your Family, How to Properly Prepare for Retirement Without Taking Risk, is about his family. So there is a passion from George Politaris and the team at the Betrayal Wealth Group, not just to take care of you, but to take care of your family as well. And maybe you're a mom, a grandma, a stepmom listening this weekend, and you kind of feel like your finances are out of whack. Let's sit down with George. Let's have this conversation. Boy, it's the best gift that you can give your husband, your kids, your stepkids, your grandkids, is just some security, knowing that mom's going to be okay in retirement. That number is 302-330-2166. Again, 302-330-2166. 2166. We have a representative standing by right now to talk to you. Answer a couple of questions, get you on the calendar to sit down with George. And George said earlier, have you saved at least $200,000 for your retirement? Again, that's where the power begins to start customizing that plan. Or maybe at the end of the day, maybe you just need that second opinion. 302-330-2166. So we're talking about the great mothers in our lives. Well, God bless them because they had to put up with us, these ungrateful little rugrats that we've been. This is a great story. We're going to completely flip the script on this one about being all lovey-dovey with our parents. Well, how about this kid right here? This comes from Market Watch. This guy writes into Market Watch. They're looking for some advice on an inheritance. So back in 1996, borrowed $20,000 from his mom. And over time, he paid her back about $5,000. Well, she passed away. He gets an inheritance and then realizes that mom, she took the entire $20,000 out of his inheritance. She pretty much took the $20,000 plus interest from the inheritance. Sounds a little ungrateful.
What's wrong with that?
Exactly, because now, according to this article in Market Watch, now he wants to get legal action. He wants to know how he can fix her inheritance to get his money back. Ungrateful kid. But let's flip it, George. They come to you. They have the same questions. What do you tell them in this situation?
First off, there is no awards for showing up. What do they call those awards, Mark? When
Participation awards.
Participation trophies. That's what this kid is looking for. And I have a customer down in Dover. We're doing some moving around of funds and some additional planning right now. And I said, so tell me, how's the kid's doing? He has a daughter or a son that lives in Charleston, and he has a daughter that lives in Philadelphia. And he goes, my son's doing really well, George, but my daughter, I don't know what happened. She's 30 years old, and she's sitting in these Palestinian, pro-Palestine protests, spewing hatred, showing no respect for authority. He's a military man. He says, everything in my core is ruined about the things she's saying.
Right.
And that's what happens when you give these inheritances to people, I think. Because you love your children. You love your grandchildren. And you get that, and all of a sudden they get this money. And what happens if his daughter's one sitting there throwing rocks at the police and burning the American flag? I love my country, folks. Anyone who knows that knows how much I love this country. And we have a right to have peaceful protests and be able to voice opinions. The moment you start saying the things these people are saying ruins it for me. And here's a prime example. He says, George, what am I supposed to do? She's 30 years old. And it hurts. And that's the same situation we're looking at here, Mark, with this. You borrowed an interest-free loan from your mother to help you get a condo. And you paid her back pennies over the last, 24, 28 years. And now you're mad because she took it all out. What are you doing to your sister, right? Is there a sister left behind? I think I read. He's going through his sister as the executor. So he's going through his sister saying, you have to make this right. Folks, if you're worried about how to plan for your child to have income later on, how to help them out, how to plan for this, that's what we do when we meet with you. That's part of your retirement plan. Call us at 302-330-2166. 302-330-2166, or better off, go to Patria Wealth. That's Patria Wealth.com. And let's schedule that meeting to come into the office here in Wilmington at 501 Silverside Road. And let's start looking how we can line this up properly. Make sure the information we're putting in now is up to date, right? So your son, your boy, doesn't do this to your daughter. I would sit there and be cutting my right hand off right now to have Betty Politar sit across this desk from me right now. And this little pompous little punk is sitting there making his sister, the only person he has left in the world's life, miserable over a lousy $20,000 for his mother's memory.
Do you see that a lot?
Ashamed of himself.
Do you see that a lot?
Money does terrible things to people.
Yeah.
What we try and do is protect our children from themselves. And a lot of times. And I'll use Alex and Jared as an example. The boys were raised by Leslie. I was working a lot. Leslie did everything. She was everything to them. But the boys are very different. Not that one's good and one's bad. They're just different. We have it lined up that we're going to pay the boys out over a set amount of years. And really, my idea is to protect Alex from Alex and Jared from Jared. I don't want them to overspend, because most people, if they receive a bulk sum inheritance, that money is gone within 13 months because they're not used to it. I want you to sit there, and we want to help our children, right? That's our greatest wealth. So we have that situation. We're helping our customers line that up. So we get them lined up to go forward. So we're ready. I don't want my customer down Dover to be thinking about this, because our conversation's switching, because next week we have a meeting how we're going to start changing some of these things.
Yeah.
Just for this purpose. Because at the end of the day, whose money are we talking about, folks?
It's your money. It's your money.
Your money.
Your money.
Your choices and your decisions. Let's have control past the grave, so to speak. That all starts with you. That's a planning process. That's procedure. When you call us at 302-330-2166, my team is here to help you get in the best place, how to line you up correctly. That's what the retirement plan is about. And when you work with me and you get the family first retirement, that's what we're going to build for you. And I always say this, Mark, because you know this to be the case. It's not a one size shoe fits all. Maybe you're one of those people out there right now that want to sit there and spend as little money as possible when you retire and pass on this big bucket of wealth to your kids. Or maybe that guy or couple that wanted to spend your last nickel with your last breath. And that's a great plan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's my plan, but that's your plan. That's great. I'm in between.
Yeah.
But that's a plan. That's putting things in line and having a plan to go forward. And the Family First Retirement Plan goes over that. We go over where your income's coming from today and where it's going to come from tomorrow. Do we need to have a lifetime income feature? Maybe we do. And if we do, we'll set it up. How about taxes? Good Lord. I love the country. I hate the government. The way they spend our taxes. Let's be proactive. Let's do some wealth conversions if it makes sense. We're going to talk about your expenses. And obviously, we're going to talk about long-term care and medical expense to make sure Social Security is going to be there and how to maximize it. When's the right time to turn that on? So call us at 302-330-2166 or go to Patria, Patria wealth.com to schedule your no-cost, no-obligation meeting. 302-330-2166.
Talking a lot about family this weekend here on Family First Retirement with George Politaris. PatriaWealth.com to meet the team to schedule that no-cost, no-obligation consultation. And if you take nothing else away from this weekend show, George's mission is to help you protect your assets. It's your money, to help you protect your money and build retirement income. It's your legacy. It's your life's work. Let's begin this conversation when you call 302-330-2166. We have a representative standing by right now to talk to you. Again, George is serving the community, Wilmington, New Jersey, Maryland, Dover, 302-330-2166, PatriaWealth.com. All right, let's do another flip side. We talked about the ungrateful kid that's trying to get more money out of his mom's passing. Well, how about this kid who was raised right? I know you're an Eagles fan, and he recently got drafted to the Bills, okay? Take that to the side.
Don't hold that against him.
All right, don't hold that against him. So his name is Keon Coleman from FSU, wide receiver, picked by the Bills, signed a $10 million contract. Then at one of his very first press conferences, well, the reporters were kind of giving him grief about his jacket, and here's what he had to say.
Guess where I got this from, though? I'm saying you got to guess. You're going to be wrong, though, but guess. Nah, Macy's. What you mean? They be on sale on the rack, all the colors. Look, $79, $89. You can get the trench coat for like $100. I'll take you there personally. I might go get some more colors. I need a blue one and another red one. I shop like my mom. I get my coats in the summertime. You got to shop a season or two before, just in case, and they be cheaper. Because you go at Thanksgiving, everybody in Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying?
Mama raised him right.
There's a mom that did an awesome job. I don't like the Bills, but I'm going to like this kid. I'm telling you that right now.
There is something to be said, though, because there's opportunities, because we just talked about we want to build retirement income. All right, you've done pretty good, George. You have to tell people, look, you've done great. Go spend your money. Or on the flip side, you have to tell people, hold on, you're spending too much money. How often do these conversations happen?
They happen more than you think. And Mark, you and I are golfers, right? I'm
Yes,
a hack
sir.
golfer. You like to play golf a lot.
Yes, sir.
But, it's muscle memory, isn't it? When you hit a golf ball, it's that repetition of doing things. Professional football player, repetition, running that route, catching that ball, making the block. It's all repetition. It's muscle memory. Well, muscle memory is not just for the things we're moving, our arms or shoulders or hips. Muscle memory is also for our brain. We are so used to being on a tight budget because we know we want to get to a point, right, folks? I want to get to, you hear all those statements that you got to have $1 million, you got to have $5 million, you got to have $10 million put aside in retirement accounts to be able to retire comfortably. So you've done everything right. You sat there and you sacrificed. And coming from a big Greek family, and my wife is one out of 6 girls. She's the baby. And it was hand-me-downs for her. We sat there being a big family. I shared my brother's clothes because we had a plan. Our parents had a thought how to go forward. But there comes a time we have to recalculate sometimes. You're so used to saving that money, which is great. I'm not telling you not to save money. You did a great job. Now is the time to turn that switch on most people. Not everybody, but most people. Let's start doing the things you didn't do when you're raising your family. We worry about paying the mortgage, paying the car, paying electric, paying for school, making sure Johnny and Susie had everything they wanted to have. And that's what parents do. But how about now we turn that around and we start spending money on what mom and dad want?
You earned it.
You earned it. Exactly right, Mark. So when you call us at 302-330-2166, but when I talk to customers and we go through their Family First Retirement Plan, and I tell them, well, my question to you right now is, John, Sue, why are you waiting 5 more years to retire? Why aren't you going to retire next year? Because we can do it next year. Because you saved so much. You did everything right. And to have the tears of happiness, Mark, when a wife gives you, after the first meeting, second meeting, they give you a hug and they say, thank you for telling me what's going on. It's priceless to us, folks. That's why we're here. I want your wife and your husband and you to be happy in retirement. And now realizing I can afford to do the trip. I always wanted to go to Hawaii. Guess what? You're going to flip on Hawaii. You get the chance to go and see your children, travel, and do everything you've wanted to. But sometimes you need that third person clarification, right? Well, I'm here to tell you when we meet how your retirement's going. And that goes both ways. If retirement's in a great place, I'm going to tell you it's a great place, folks. And if it's not, I'm not going to sugarcoat it with you. You're going to have the information you need, but you have to take the first step. If you've saved $200,000+ for retirement, whether that's in a managed fund, in savings, CDs, a 401k, a 403b, a TSP, call us at 302-330-2166 so we can start the process to help you, give you the answers, give you the guidance, and give you the direction to go forward. You know, Mark, we had someone call last week and say, well, does it have to be $200,000 to talk with you, George? Is that the way it works? It has to be a minimum? It doesn't have to be a minimum. But what I have found when we work with people, that is the sweet spot that we can start using the tools at our disposal to get the best refund. Folks, if you've saved $10,000, you've worked hard. It's a lot of money, right? It is. Mm-hmm. But there's not a lot we can do with $10,000 to help you.
Yeah, you're not a magician.
Yeah. I don't want you to think we're trying to, say one thing is good, one thing is bad. There's just not a lot of opportunity to assist you. I'll be happy to guide you and give you some ideas, but there's not a lot of choices for us to go forward for you.
Yeah. So
we say 200,000. It's a number. We have to, because I can start doing stuff to help you be in a better place. Mm-hmm. So you call us at 302-330-2166, and let's see how we can work with you, how we can help you. And if nothing else, give you some answers to those questions that are nagging people. I made sure I pushed out that word nagging because it sits on our head and we think about it. If you're like me, I wander the house and I'm worried about something. Me and the 3 dogs get chances to eat chicken and leftovers. I want you to sleep at night. So when you call us at 302-330-2166, or better yet, stop in the office here at 501 Silverside Road, Suite 31, Wilmington, 19809, and let's have a good cup of coffee, and let's start the process together.
George, Mom raised us to be good kids. Mom would not be happy if we had Roman eyes or if we were cheating a little bit. But there is one opportunity where it's okay to have those Roman eyes. And that's for the people listening this weekend that have the big box advisors that feel like their needs aren't being met. That feels like they haven't heard from their financial advisors in weeks, months, not even in the past year. That's when it's perfectly okay to reach out to George Politaris and the team at the Betrayal Wealth Group and ask for that second opinion. George, there's nothing wrong. It is your life's work. There's nothing wrong with asking the questions and finding out, where am I?
Absolutely. Because who comes first? The advisor you didn't talk to for a year and doesn't care about you, or your wife and children, your husband and children?
Amen.
This is your money. And yes, we have loyalties. Yes, they've done a good job. But how about this? A lot of times I see people, Mark, that have been with their advisor for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they forget their path of action, or they put a plan together 10 years ago. It has to still be good today. Are you different today than you were 10 years ago? I've seen pictures of you, Mark, 10 years ago.
Hair and
you
metabolism.
Looked a lot better 10 years ago.
Hair and metabolism, really two things I ain't got no more.
But things have to evolve, right? We changed. Your plan, your retirement plan needs to evolve and change with you. And getting a separate set of eyes, a new set of eyes on them, brings it from a different light. It really does. It's like when you go for a walk, and Leslie and I go for walks at Bellevue State Park down the road here, Mark. Mm-hmm. I just love the atmosphere. But we'll change direction. We'll walk this way, and then tomorrow walk counterclockwise. And it's amazing the different things you see. Do that next drive home.
All right.
Take a different, and you see things in a different perspective. Mm-hmm. That's what the second opinion is, folks. Get a second opinion. Let me look at it from a different perspective. When you come in, there'll be no cost when you come in. We're going to do a review. I'm going to sit here just like every other customer and give you that complimentary Family First Retirement Plan. B, if you're in a good place and it looks great, I'm going to say, God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. It's fantastic. If it's not a good thing, I'm going to point out to you and give you a recommendation. Either way, you get the education, the confirmation, whether it's good or not, and peace of mind to help you be in the right place. 302-330-2166. 302-330-2166. Give us a call now. We have an operator standing by for your no-cost, no-obligation.
Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Palataris, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.